There are people who can go out and get into a golf cart and just play with their buddies every so often or once a weekend or whatever, and just go out and enjoy it and have fun and be in the open air. That is not me. Need the coffee. Let's go. Coffee now. Oh, I don't have patience to wait for coffee anymore. Welcome back to Golf Test Tell Me, the channel where I use my game to help your game, and another episode of Sundays at 3 with GTD. Now, it's a little bit of a special occasion. As of the time that I'm shooting this video... What's up, buddy? Yeah? Alright. Well, I'm gonna shoot this video. I was just telling everybody how it's kind of a special occasion, because as of the day that I'm shooting this video, it is exactly the 2-year anniversary of this channel. But I thought I'd take a few minutes today to kind of share a little bit of background about me. We talk golf all the time, and very rarely do I kind of spill things about myself. You may be able to glean them from some of the things that I say, and I talk a little bit about sort of my history with golf and that background. But as far as me personally, I thought you might like to know a few things, and I'd like to give you some background on me to give you a little bit of context as to exactly who it is that you're watching when you tune in on Sundays and Wednesdays. Before I get going, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys out there that support the channel and support me, actually interact with me and others on the channel. You turn this channel into a real community of just exploration, and we're all students of the game. And it's just been fantastic. So thank you all so very much for the great 2 years now that you have given me. Now, I'm not going to get too personal on this video. Obviously, I'm not going to give you all of the intimate details of my personal life, but I would like to share some things with you that is, a little bit personal and sort of, give you some background on who it is that you're looking at, who you're talking to, and who you're interacting with on every Sunday and Wednesday. So I just had a birthday last week. I turned 43 years old. I'm in North Carolina. I've lived in North Carolina my whole life. Originally from Kannapolis, which is kind of near Charlotte. Some of you may know that. And lived there for most of my life. And about a year and a half or so ago, we moved out here near Raleigh because the company that I was working with had an opportunity to move out here. Well, when the pandemic hit, there was a series of layoffs, lost my job. And long story short, I've got another job now. It's a great job. I'm very happy with where I am and what I do. And I'm in the construction industry. I've been in construction for well over 20 years now. Mostly residential, some commercial. I'm married. We've been together for about 20 years now. We have 4 kids. I'm a stepdad to 3 of those kids, and one of them is our youngest that we have together. We've got a fantastic family. I've got 2 cousins. I was an only child. Their names are Chris and Eric. And my cousin Chris has always been pretty much like my brother. So as we grew up and we were younger, I've always known him and seen him as an actual brother rather than a cousin. But he's about 3 years older than I am, and we've always had a little bit of a competition between each other. Every time when I was growing up, I always wanted to do what Chris is doing. And my grandma and my parents would say, no, you're not old enough. No, you're not big enough. No, you're not strong enough. No, you're not smart enough. All of these different things that they would tell me. And Chris was always doing all of these things. So it made me a very competitive person because I always wanted to prove him wrong. I can do that. I can pick that up. I can mow the grass. I can do it. And so it really kind of made me a competitive person. It can be something that becomes almost like a curse, when you're constantly told that way. But I think that life is about 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So if I had taken things the wrong way and I had let it defeat me and I'd let it beat me, I could have very easily become a very bitter person, a very resentful person, and instead I turned it into fuel. And I think that that's where this whole quest to be better at golf has come from. I've had a lot of people ask me over the years, they say, why do you want to be good at golf? Who cares? Just go out and have fun. Just hit the ball. I can't do that. I've tried that. That doesn't work. It's a matter of personal satisfaction to try and be the best that I can be. So I kind of floundered around a bit from job to job after high school, and really was just trying to take something, pick up a job where I could make some money. You know, I didn't really have any direction, didn't really have any plans, didn't know where I was going to go. Actually ended up taking a job as a laborer for some brick masons with a construction company. And I thought, well, this will do until I find something else. And it turns out it was going to be the path that my life was going to go down. Hook you guys into the tripod here now. So anyway, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. It's probably just a couple of decades of hard work, back-breaking work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and injuries and things like that. But it's why I have some of the issues with my body that I have. So my history with the game is this. At about 19 years old, I think I was working at, I don't know, I think I was working probably fast food at the time. And my cousin came up to me and he said, hey, man, come out and play golf with us this weekend. And I'm like, you must be, no way. I don't care anything about golf. No, you guys golf, you have fun. He's like, no. Trust me, golf is not like that. Not with us anyway. We go out, we have fun. It's very laid back. You'll love it. You'll have a blast. And I'm thinking, oh man, okay. All right, I'll go, whatever, but I don't have any kind of stuff. I don't have balls or sticks or clubs or whatever you call them. I don't have any of that. No problem you can share with me. So we end up going out to this golf course called Rolling Hills, and I've actually got a video on my channel. Not a lot of people watched it. It wasn't the most popular video I ever put out, but I actually go back there recently, and it was just late last year that I went out there to go play it again. I hadn't played it in a while. You should go check that out. But it was kind of we always called it a goat ranch course. You know, it was never in really good shape. It was never anything special. But we went out, and instantly it was like a love affair that started, and then it became golf. And I actually improved really, really quickly. And I think that the reason that I improved quickly is because I did not look at instruction, and I did not look at mechanical thoughts and positions so much in the beginning. In the beginning, it was just, hey, let me do this. Let me just try and experiment. And then it was just going out and practicing and hitting the ball and just trying to get better at it. And I improved rapidly as a result of that. Now, you could say that I improved rapidly. You could say that it's really easy to go from being a complete novice to actually being able to contact the ball with some sort of competency fairly quick. And that's right. That's true. But at the same time, it was a little bit more than that. And I can honestly say that it was better improvement than just the average person would have seen. And I did not involve a lot of instruction in the beginning. I didn't look at a lot of magazines or books or watch, shows on TV. There was no YouTube at the time. And I was just fumbling around finding my own way. And I think that was my best source of improvement. And so many of us, I think, can learn from that example if we go back to the beginning and just take a look at how we were playing back then, how we were practicing when we first started, what it was. I wasn't a child. A lot of people start golf when they're a really young age, and I wasn't a child when I started. I was a well-developed teenager. I was an adult by that time. But then eventually, after several years of playing golf, life kind of takes hold. I get a family, I get a job, I get responsibilities, and life was just too busy for me to play. So I took about an 8-year break from the game. I think I was gone for about 7 or 8 years where I either didn't play much golf at all, like in the sense of maybe once a year, or I just didn't play, period. And so I just kind of left it. I said, that's it. I'm just done with golf. And it wasn't necessarily 100% because I was too busy. There was a part of it that after a while, I was frustrated. I was really frustrated with not getting any better. And I was still having some of the same issues with the game even years later. And I think that I hit a real roadblock in a real period in my golf where I was at my peak. It's like, yeah, okay, you're never going to get any better. And in order to stay at a decent skill level at the game, you have to play multiple times a week. You have to practice multiple times a week. And I was just of that belief. And I just could not push past and get any better. And it wasn't the highest level golf, but it was decent. Well, about 3 years ago, about a year before I started the channel, I decided to take golf back up. And of course, I didn't have any designs on creating a YouTube channel at that point. I just wanted to get back into golf. And when I came back, I knew that it was just going to be a real eye opener, that because I'd been gone from the game for so long, I just had seriously low expectations. And I thought, I'll just come out here. I'll just kind of play around. I'm just going to enjoy it this time. I'm not going to get so serious. I'm not going to get so in depth. Let's just go out and try and enjoy playing golf and hitting the ball, and let's see what happens. And of course, there was some serious rust in the beginning, but I still kept my mentality for a short time to say, just come out here and have fun and just kind of go out and make contact with the ball. And quickly I realized that once again, that's not going to work for me. That's just not going to work for me. There are people who can go out and get into a golf cart and just play with their buddies every so often or once a weekend or whatever, and just go out and enjoy it and have fun and be in the open air. That is not me. I want to improve. I want to master something, at least in relation to what I believe I can accomplish. Now, do I need to be a scratch golfer? No. Do I need to be able to go on tour? No. And I do enjoy playing golf. But it's hard for me to enjoy playing golf if I'm not playing at least somewhat decent. If I go out and I'm constantly hitting it into the trees or into the creek or into the water, what's the point? And I think there's a lot of golfers out there that are like that. I think that I'm not alone in that regard. I think it's the reason that a lot of times, you'll hear the stat that golf is dying. Golf is dying. We need to get young people into the game. There's so many people that are leaving the game. And certainly there's a number of people that are actually passing away that don't play golf anymore. And then, of course, there are the young people that are starting up the game for the first time. But if golf is going down as a whole, it's because people are not playing as much. There's not as many people playing. People are leaving the game of their own free will. And I think the reason for that is stagnation and improvement. And that sucks, because really what I'm learning on my journey here and what I've been sharing with you guys is that it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is extremely difficult. Nobody goes out and gets frisbee lessons. Nobody goes out and gets rock skipping lessons. I think that if we can relate golf to things like that and not make it so difficult in our brains, then our bodies will figure out a way to hit the ball and to be able to play golf decently. But there are some core fundamentals. It's not so easy as just stepping back on one foot and onto another. It's not as easy as that. It's not quite as easy as skipping a stone. It's not quite as easy as throwing a frisbee. There are some mechanics, but I believe a lot of those mechanics are more in how you grip the club and how you address the ball. More so than how you move your body. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body is unique. Everybody moves a different way. But how you put your hands on the club, you can't swing a golf club if you hold it like this, right? I guess you could, but this is really gonna hinder you. So you need some sort of idea as to how to basically get your hands on the club, and then you can change that around if you need to. And then you can't stand up to the ball like this. You can't do it like you're playing hockey or whatever. You need some sort of an idea of how to kind of just stand neutral or in some way that will allow you to swing the club. And then, of course, you're not going to do like this and play golf this way, even though I guess you could, but it's probably not going to be the most efficient. Conversely, you're not going to stand like this and try to hit the ball that way. So there needs to be some sort of fundamentals, some sort of something in it. Like you can't be here trying to hit the ball either. You won't be way back here. All of that talks to the Goldilocks stuff that Sean Clement talks about. But even if it's not Sean Clement, even if it's any instructor or just you teaching yourself, there has to be some kind of basic stuff in place. So a lot of that trial and error and self-discovery, that really becomes the great teacher. And then ball flight. Did you hit the ball well? Did it feel good? Did it go a long way? Did it stay fairly straight or, toward your target? If it is, then you're probably doing something that's semi-right. But if it's not, then you think, okay, well, that's not working. I need to try something else. And so the ball flight and all of that becomes the great golf instructor. And the problem with a lot of golf instruction out there nowadays is that they say there is one way. There's a best way to sit up. There's a best way to hold the club. There's a best way to make a swing. And I just don't know if I believe that, because best is relative. It is a relative term. And best for Jim Furyk, and best for Bubba Watson, and best for Tiger Woods, and best for Chad, the golf test dummy, are many, many different levels of different. It's probably one of the most important things that I've discovered in the 2 years that I've been producing content and putting it up on this channel. As you know, I started out the whole thing by testing out all of these different swing methods and trying different stuff. And now I'm seeing what happens long term when I stick with one swing. And I think that by the end of this year, I think what we're going to see is that I'm able to compare sticking with one method that works for you and doing it for a year versus flip-flopping around and trying out different methods and just trying different things every so often for a year. And when I compare those two and the results that I get, I think the results are going to be really interesting. So I hope you guys stick around. Anyway, I wanted to give you a little bit of insight into my golf game and where I came from and sort of my background as a whole period. Give you a few personal details about my life so you can get to know me a little bit better. And I hope you stick around with me. I hope that you follow me. This year, I think, is really going to be exciting. And I think that I've got a lot of improvement ahead of me this year. I think I'm going to see my handicap drop considerably for the first time in a long time. I hope that that's going to be the case. I have faith that that is going to be the case, and I hope that you're along with me to see that journey. I know we all have goals, and everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, but that's my plan for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy 2-year anniversary to all of the dummies out there, and I'll see you in the next video.